Good evening, church. Tonight I wanted to talk to you a little bit about being prepared. Now, the Bible talks a lot about what it means to be prepared. I know it says that we're to be prepared for the return of the Lord. It tells us to, it gives us many different ways that it tells us that we are to be prepared, in different ways that it talks about, we're supposed to study to show ourselves approved. We're supposed to be prepared in season and out of season. But I'm wearing my Boy Scout shirt, and because that was our motto when you're in Boy Scouts. Our motto is to be prepared, and so I wanted to tell you a little bit of a story about what it was like, or my experience when I was in Boy Scouts. See, every year we would go to summer camp, and we would have to pack up for that summer and get ready, and we'd go, and we'd only be gone for about a week. But our motto is be prepared. So my first year going, I wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed. So I ended up packing probably a lot more than I needed. You'd pack everything. I'd pack, an extra canteen. You pack matches. You pack all these things that you think you're going to need while you're out there. And my backpack ended up being really, really heavy. Needless to say, I didn't end up using most of that stuff. And a lot of it really ended up just being so heavy that it weighed me down. And so the more that I went and the more experience I got and the more I learned, I actually learned that I could do a lot more without all that extra stuff. So as the years went by, slowly the stuff I would put in there actually would end up being a little less and a little less each year, until I wasn't taking hardly that much with me to camp every year. But the thing is, I ended up, because of the experience and the learning, and as I grew, I ended up not needing that stuff. I was more prepared that last year with less stuff than I was that first year, thinking that I needed to bring all of that stuff with me. The point of that is not that we shouldn't, have all the tools access to our that we have available, but a lot of times we let not having some of those things stand in our way. We think as Christians that in order to go out and do God's work, well, we have to be at a certain level, or we have to have so much that it's not necessary. I can't get up there and speak. I can't speak like Pastor Jason or Pastor Robert because I don't speak that eloquently in public. Have you heard me speak? If you're watching this video, I don't do that well speaking myself. And if you come on Sundays, it's not that eloquently done when I'm doing announcements. The same thing, we think, oh, well, I didn't go to Bible college, so I'm not equipped to talk to people about God. Or, oh, I haven't read the Bible cover to cover, so I really can't speak about it. One of my favorite things about the book of Acts, if you have never read the book of Acts, is really something you should pick up. Is one thing that we can really learn from it is all the early church, all those people, they didn't have a good history with the Bible. They didn't have a ton of learning. They didn't go to college. They didn't speak eloquently, yet they went out and they spoke, and multitudes were added to them daily, the Bible says. We had fishermen. We had, a tax collector. We had people that usually you wouldn't suspect in this type of setting, and yet because they were just willing, they had a heart, and they said, God, I want to go after you. He added to their numbers, and that was sufficient. They didn't need all that extra. And that's it's really uplifting for us to think about that and to know that. So, no matter what stage you are in your life, no matter what you think you're going through, no matter where you think you are, whether or not you think you are prepared, I just want you to know God can use you as you are. All right, thank you guys. Can't wait to see you Sunday. Hope you have an awesome week.